Chapter 3. The Patch. In brackets. My beloved piece of dirt. At the bottom of the street was a square of wasteland, which we called the Patch. The Patch ran adjacent to Prince's Road and was bordered on each side by Priestfield Road and Beechfield Road. It was probably about 100 yards by 50 yards in size. It had a sparse few bits of rough grass interspersed with dry earth and dandelions. It would later become a building plot for several houses. To us kids at that time, it was a place where we could live out our adventurous fantasies. A place where our imagination could run wild, and a place where our parents could offload us for a few hours' peace and quiet. As the Patch bordered two streets, Priestfield and Beechfield Roads, it was generally accepted that the side nearest Beechfield Road belonged to the kids of that street, and the side nearest Priestfield Road belonged to us. We, of course, are the kids of Priestfield Road. With my friend Billy Owen, Billy Jones, Stan Cheatham, Roy Street, and one or two others, we dug a large trench-like hole around 4 foot deep and 6 foot by 6 foot square. On the top of the hole we placed old corrugated sheets, leaving a space uncovered at one end to allow us entry into this underworld. The waste soil which came from the excavation of the hole was piled on top of the corrugated sheets, so that all that was visible was a mound of soil and a small opening to give us access to our underground den. All sorts of oddities were deposited in the den: jam jars full of marbles, toy guns, wooden swords, comics of every variety, tin cans joined with lengths of string to use as communication lines, candles for light, Tommy helmets, which were in abundance at the end of the war, which you could either sit on or wear on your head during war games. All this together, with as many as 7 or 8 of us, made for a crowded but exciting place to be. It was our home during the hours of daylight, and a place where you could take your jam butties and eat them in peace. So long, that is, you shared the crust with the others. On the Patch, your imagination could take you anywhere. For our dinky cars, wooden pull trains, farm animals and soldiers, we would shape out in the soil miniature roadways, lanes, farms and all manner of buildings. To keep order and control who did what during all this excavation work, forces would be divided into small groups of friends, usually 2 or 3 in each group. Each group was responsible for building its own play village, and then collectively we joined the villages together by roadways and railways. The roadways were dug out of the soil under either a penknife or a kitchen knife from home. We would dig the roads about 3 inches wide and about 1 inch deep, just enough so toy cars could pass each other. Railway tracks and airfields were built in a similar manner. We spent hours transporting soil from one location to another in toy lorries. Great battles were fought with toy soldiers, tanks and aeroplanes. To get the most out of playing like this, you would lie on the bare earth so that your face was very close to the ground. In this way you became almost part of the action. This procedure contributed to the grubby state we were in most of the time. Grubby hands and knees, holes in short trousers held up with braces, Woolworth's black gollies on my feet, no socks, and one side of my face the colour of the Patch. Big bright eyes and a grin from ear to ear. What a great sight I made for my mum when I went home. On these occasions, our Olwyn was forever disowning me. The den stayed in place for most of the summer, at least until the winter rains filled the hole with water and the sides caved in. In any case, it had to be filled in ready for bonfire night. Oh, happy days on the Patch.